Hey all my creative friends, how you guys doing today? Welcome back to my channel. This is Lisa, Paper Lace and Bling. We are going to have some mixed media type fun today, and I'm going to make some tags for my album, Alice, my Alice album. Okay, so working with Mod Podge today, but you can use, anything you got that's gonna make it sticky. Also, I've got some embossing paste. Now this is Dreamweaver Pearlescent. It's the only one I got, and I'm trying to use it up because it is a little old before I buy some new, which I will buy some new, and it won't be pearlescent because I can make it if I want to use it. Just add a little mica in there, we're good. Okay, so I have 6 tags. I have 3 of the black and 3 of the cream color. And one of them is a bit dirty on both sides, so, the mixed media is going to be very useful for that one. Okay, so I have that. I picked out a couple of glitters. This one is from Sparkle and Sprinkle, and it's called Imagination, and it's kind of all the colors that are in this. It's not Christmas. It sounds Christmassy, but it's not super Christmassy, because there's red, there's blue, there's gold, there's green, but we'll see how it works. It's not actually very, it can be used Christmas, but you can use any other time too. And then this is imported from Germany. It's their glitter, and it's Meyer, M-E-Y-E-R Imports, and it's a very soft pink color, rosy pink color. So I'm thinking those two might give me a look that I'm looking for. Of course, what's that called? A coffee filter. I got a little bit of water and a brush. Got a scraper. This is one of my faves, but you don't have to have this kind. You can have, just the plastic. You can use a credit card, not a real one. I wouldn't actually get your credit card out of your purse and use it. I've got some great stencils. This is actually a Stamperia stencil 4. It says eat me, drink me, so it's made for Alice. And then this is another steampunk one from Stamperia. So these are the heavy-duty stencils. What they call heavy-duty stencils. I would definitely... Its thickness is 0.5 millimeters, okay? So you definitely don't want to get the knot, because they're really, really, really thin. I don't know. They're so hard to do anything with. And I have some rice paper from Stamperia again. So it has the 6 rounds. And so I'm going to use those. And then it's got, the edges and, of course, the little pieces in here. So we'll try and use up all of that kind of stuff, too. I'd like to use the whole page. So we'll see how we do. Let's get started. Okay, so I think for the first part of this, I'll do each one of these at a time here. Some of this stuff out of the way. Don't need this yet. Don't need the Mod Podge yet. We are going to use, if I can get it, well, my hands are so sore today. I've been quite busy. All right, so let's get this. Apparently this one I haven't used yet. I believe this was a Christmas present. Yay! Love Christmas presents. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and get this out of the way here. All right. Yeah, we'll do it this way. Okay, so I just kind of want to do some of the edges. I'm thinking that I want to do this before I do the Mod Podge, but then again, I think maybe I don't. You know what? Now that I've thought it through, let's do the Mod Podge part first. So we'll take that out of the way. All right. So, now they totally look different on the black as they do the cream color. So, I'm sorry, I haven't yawned all day, and I get on, and here I am. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it's all the lights, and my eyes are going, oh, wait a minute, let's go to sleep. So, you do want to see which ones you're going to like better on the lighter colors. So, I definitely like these. So let's see, I'm going to go ahead and tear out Alice. Just take your time. And I'll have the heart. And I think I'll get the little mirror here. The looking glass, whatever you want to call it. Alright, oopsie. Ripped right into him. Sometimes you get a thread that's pretty tough in the rice paper, so. Alrighty. Could I have gotten this part done before you got on here? Yeah, I could have, but you know, I want you to share all the joy. This is probably the least fun part of the whole process. So just hang in there with me. We're going to have some fun here. All right. Lost a little bit of the heart, but that's okay. All right. And I am going to take this off, the edging here, trying to keep most of the circle. But this edging I will be able to use on the tag as well. Okay, now got Mod Podge. I'm going to spray some water off to the side so that I can get my brush wet. Okay, and then I'm just going to, I mean, it's as simple as this, guys, with rice paper. It's just simply put it on, lay it down, and then put it over. All right, and the little looking glass. And there, that looks really nice right there. So you can just get yourself a nice even layer. There we go. And I know there's ways of doing this where you don't get any, but this is pretty stiff. This is pretty stiff paper. And you want to go from the center out so that you get air bubbles out for sure, but you're also spreading all those little hairs from the tearing. And of course the ones that are in the center where they're going to get torn, you can definitely tear them. Just going back and catching the places where it wanted to bubble up. But the probably would have been better for me to give myself a nice rough edge around there instead of that. But I will just take other things and really work that through. And the part that comes off the side, I'm not going to worry about. That will just get torn off later on. All right, so we're going to let that one dry. Let's see. What's next? I think I definitely like this black on the black. I definitely like the little guys painting the roses. Sometimes these little suckers. Where is some scissors? Sometimes those little bits in there are just easier cut. So I'm going to go ahead and go around here a little bit so I get that edge off. There we go. All right, now this should fit on here just like so. Perfect. All right. So we want all of this. You want to kind of work quickly so that you will have a little bit of play time with this. Make sure that you're got things covered all the way. Okay. Right down on the edge. There we go. And then just from your center, start going out. And I love all those little hairs getting onto the paper. Of course, we're going to be doing other things to this, so everything will, not everything will show up, but in parts, bits and pieces, you will see it. I love doing this stuff. Just love it. So you got the idea. I am going to go ahead and I got to get this stuff. I'm going to go ahead and rip and get the other ones done. And then I will come back once I have all of them done, so you'll see what the next step is. Of course, there's no wrong way or right way of doing this. It's just whatever floats your boat. If you wanted to do the stenciling first and then put this down over the stenciling, that would have looked totally cool. So anyway, there we go. A little bubble right there. Just continue this until you have gotten all the bubbles out of there. And as they're drying, you want to double check, because sometimes you'll see one. It's not quite as good to go back over it afterwards, so just try and be pretty thorough as you're doing them. All right? So guys, I'm going to be back once I get all 6 of my little rounds onto my little tags. And then we'll go and have some more fun with some stuff, okay? Back in a minute. Okay, so what I decided to do is I did 3 of these, okay? And then I decided, I think what I'm going to want to do is, just so you can see what you can do with it, so these other 3 I'm going to put on after I stencil some goodie on there, okay? So that is where I'm at. I thought, you know what, I might as well bring them along in case that's what you want to do. And the rice paper will go over it once it's dry. So it will be a couple step process, but now I do rather like mixing this up a little bit once I first get in here, just to make sure that, you know, I'm happy with the consistency and it hasn't separated or anything like that, and then I end up using all of the soft stuff, or I don't know. But I do like to give it a good stir. Okay. So, let's start having some fun here. Figure out what you want. Let's do this one first. And I don't know, I want it like really heavy decoration up here. Not heavy like in thick, just where it's got a lot going on. There we go. That's nice. Take a little of the excess off. Oh, I love it. Okay. Now let's see, where else do I want? And then we can do a lighter bit here. Okay. Pull that out of there. All right. Which way do I need to go there? Okay. I'm just going to scrape this off my table and wipe this down on a rag. Oops, I got a little flour in there. There we go. Okay. I'm just kind of scraping the edges. There we go. Let's clean this up just a smidge. Just want to clean off the stuff on the metal ring. Okay. All right, we're going to let that one dry. I'm running out of spaces. Now, this one, let's see, I actually want to, oh, I've already done it, haven't I? Yes, I did. Let's see. Make sure this is dry. Okay. I think I want to actually do like teacups. Now, if you guys don't think that you can keep this still in one place, then by all means do some tape onto the tag and then you can tape onto this. But I'm doing such little spots here that it's pretty easy. All right, take that up. Perfect. Love it. Got a little bit on the, and I got a big old hunk on there. All right. So now what's next? Should basically let that dry, but I think I'm going to put the Eat Me, Drink Me down here. What do I want to do? Okay, let's get out, where'd I put? I want to put a little bit of sparkle on these. Pillow box is a great idea, but when you can't get the bottom piece out anymore, there you go, just squeeze that puppy. There we go. All right. This is called Seashell. It's very, very soft. I just want to sprinkle a little bit. Now, if you got a spoon, sometimes that works better. But I'm just sprinkling a little bit, just so it has some color. And not all of that is going to stay, guys, so don't think I'm overdoing it. In fact, now, am I going to like that, or am I going to want that to really be solid? Let's try it solid, huh? Why not? We're playing. So I'm going to lay this down all over it. Okay, you don't want a spot that doesn't show. And then I'm just going to very lightly tap across. I mean, I'm barely putting any pressure, but I want that glitter to get down into the paste. Let's see how we're doing. You can definitely tell they're teacups. Alright, well there is that. That is just a little bit of that paste that got on there. Okay, so there's that one. So you saw where you could do either just a light dusting, you know, and maybe the light dusting would be better if it was just like an iridescent where it's just going to pick up the color that's around it. And I probably won't use that on the same thing, but now I think we're just going to go back with some, find the right spot here. We're going to go back with some of this just all over. Oops. Just gonna have a nice bit all over. And this will make for a very interesting finish. I think that's all. There we go. I'm going to scrape the edge. put this and then scrape this up and put it, because it's probably got other things in it if I'm being honest when I'm scraping this up, so I don't want to put that back in my container. All right, so now this all has to, and I see where I got it along the edge here. This all has to dry. Okay, so there's that. We'll let that one dry. And then we have the black one. One last black one. And it'll be interesting to see this Eat Me and Drink Me right across the top. And I think that's pretty even. Okay, so we're just going to do this. Just be careful, or you can put a sticky note, which I have done in the past. If you don't want to get part of anything else, just put sticky note down if it's really close, and that helps you keep not getting any of the other parts of the stencil. And I think especially on black, this is going to show up a lot more. All right. Go ahead and lift this up. Very nice. Cool. Eat me, drink me. Make me big, make me small. Okay, I'm going to get the rest of this off. Don't need a hair in there. Okay. Don't want to put it on where you're closing it, or you'll never get it open again. Okay, now I need to go and wash my stencils, so I will be back momentarily. Okay, guys. Okay, so we have, this one is dry, and I'm just pulling off the main bits that are hanging. I'm not worried about if it's got a little bit, but and you don't want to cut it off. You just want to leave it with hairs, as far as I'm concerned. If you want to, you certainly can, because there's no rights or wrongs. Now, I had this little piece that I had thrown away, and I went ahead and got it back out because I thought that would kind of finish a border down the one side. But then I thought, well, but I need some color behind it. So I also pulled out this, and I thought if I could get around these signs, and of course I got into that one, just a little bit of this blue here. Just get what I can out of it. There. Okay. So, it's going to be hard to get a little bit of color out of this one, but if I do it like this, there'll be a little bit of color. Let's see, can I, yeah, maybe if I move it up a little bit more, we'll have a little color there. We'll have a little color there. And then we'll have a lot of color here. All right, so let's do that. I'm going to leave that right there. I'm going to put some glue. And let's also get this inked. Okay. And we'll go ahead and ink the back side. Okay, so there's that. And I'm just going to run one little bit of glue kind of down the center where I think the majority of this is going to hit. Put this back almost to the edge. And then put this down. Right where I'm going to want it. There we go. And that's going to give me a little bit of color. And I'm just going to rip this. I wanted to go a little higher, but it didn't. That's okay too. And then we're just going to touch the black edge to this. Okay. And then I'm going to glue all of this down. You can leave the edges if you so desire. And I'm going to put a little bit right here at the bottom corner because I'm not quite sure where that's going to hit. So I kind of want to get right where that border starts and get where that, right off the edge of the paper. This needs to get glued down better. There we go. Good job. And if you leave that a little loose there, you can kind of roll the edges up a little bit. Really give them a kind of a used, I've been through the ringer kind of look. And if you want to lift it up a little bit and catch all of that with the black, you can do this ahead of time. There we go. I just don't want a lot of it on my... All right, and then we're just going to cut this around because for the bottom I don't want to lose just the easy down. Okay, so that's done on that side. Let's start another one up here. And let's do the same thing. Glue this right on the edge of that so that we get, okay, so I'm just going to put a little bit, well, let's ink it. Ink it. Don't forget to ink it. Ah! See, these are some of the things that I do as I'm finishing out the book. And I don't really bring you guys along for this very often because this is usually spur of the moment stuff. I'm like, oh, I need to, you know. And it also is looking at what I have left, and it kind of talks to me about what I need to do. You know, I need to get rid of all of this paper, so let me see how I can do that. So I am going to put just a small... Why does that sound like we've got somebody in our front yard? Okay. Probably going to have to go and check. It sounds like I've got a delivery. Okay. I am getting a little bit here. There we go. And then I just want to stick this on the edge just so you don't see any holes. Yeah, I definitely got somebody here, guys. So I shall return momentarily. Okay, so I went ahead and split it because I didn't really want to cover my heart. And I was thinking I wanted it to go all the way to the top, but then I thought better of that as well. So, let's see. Come on. Alrighty, so we're going to put this down close to the heart. And then we're going to put this one down a little lower. I kind of like it hugging the roundness of the and I'm fine with it kind of hanging off the edge just a little bit. We're looking for some grunginess anyway, right? Okay, so now I have, let's see, I can take a piece of this material and, let's see, I want a little piece to start with. Oh, well, does not want to go that way. All right, now just give it an edge. Just give it an edge. It's a little ramshackled, but you know what? I kind of like that too. So we're just going to use it just the way it is, minus a few threads. All right, so we can put this along our bottom, or we can put it right here along the top. Then what am I going to put? Or I can just hang it around the edge there. Not quite long enough for that. Let's see. Much nicer. Get the extra threads off. Okay. So we can put that there. These noisy things don't need to be right where I'm laying on them all the time. Gark, 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 gark. Okay, really like that there. Like it better than this one. So let's just give it a little fuzzy edge. There we go. A little bit of Fabri-Tac. I am in dire need of some Fabri-Tac, but I probably won't get some until I go down to Florida, because I'm not going to any of the shops around here that has Fabri-Tac, because they're too far away and I don't have enough time. I don't have enough time for all that. Okay, I'm just going to lay one piece along there, because I want to be able to tuck things up underneath this. So, right there. Alright, so we have that. This is really pretty for the bottom. And then I can tuck things underneath that as well. So I'm going to cut this. And let's put that one. Come on. Just going to put a line of glue along the bottom and up a little bit up the sides. Find out which one of these. The one side fits flatter, lays flatter than the other side. So it's like this side didn't get any glue. Oh, I hate when I have an empty bottle. Sorry, guys. It's very time consuming for you and for me. Okay. So there, that's on the bottom. Now, let's see here. We have so much. Who in the world am I? That's the great puzzle. This was a chipboard piece, and I ended up pulling way too much of the chipboard off of it, so it's now just a very thin piece of paper. And I'm just wondering if I could... I do have a small, let me see. Oh, goodness. Is it in here? It is not in here. Where did I put that? Did I leave it out? Oh, that's the larger one, so I'm sure it's not in there, huh? Because I usually don't put the smaller ones in the bigger basket, because then I lose them. But looks like I've kind of lost one anyway. Well, I was going to say I have a hole punch that is this size, but I don't know where it got off to. So that will have to be found at some point if I'm ever going to, there it is, ever going to use it again. Okay, so I'm going to try if I can get that looped around there. How cool is that? Just pull that right along there and then glue that down. So cute. pulling some of this up so I can get this down. Okay. Oh, and then, of course, I don't have much, but it decides. At least it won't do it anymore. All right. Suck that stuff out of there. All right. Now, I can ink this. Kinda. It does have some kind of finish on the top, so it's not really taking. And I think I'm going to have to cut some of this off. All right. Get it around this hole. Not exactly straight. Let me see if I can lift it up and straighten it just a little bit. There we go. That's a little better. Okay. Okay. There we go. Oh, now what else do we want to do? What else do we want to do? We have a few little, sometimes I believe as many as 6 impossible things before breakfast. Do I like it there or there? I think I like it here. And what do I want to do up here? It does need some paper. It does. It needs some paper. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do, if I can, is I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to cut it, pencil, I've got it slid underneath, I'm going to cut it right there. And I guess I'm just going to use my scissors since everything has stuff drying on it. Okay, now I want this piece to fit right up along this. So I'm going to make a mark right there. And then I want this piece to start Okay, so I'm just messing around with this a little bit. And we're gonna just see how close I am. What am I doing? Oh, it's this side. Okay. So, dang if I wasn't pretty close to right on it. I'm taking that bad boy right there. Just taking it. That will all get cut down, but this, there we go. And let's glue. Okay. Slide this under. A little bit more. There we go. Just making it interesting. Just making it interesting. But guys, this is what you do, mixed media. You just keep going until you feel like you're good with what you got. Alright, and then here, really all I want to do is give it a little bit of an edge. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave it just like that. We're going to ink and see what else we need. I do like that on there, so, but I might just leave it where it's loose. I don't know. We'll see. Depends on where I'm putting it. Alright, so let's see. Let's ink this. And I think I will glue this down. Okay. Oops. There we go. All right. Now, yeah, I like that. I like this. And I'm just going to put it right around there. So that then I can cut it in the shape of the tag. So now we'll leave that for a sec. And I got this little thing that I cut off. I'm going to glue that down in here. See, that little piece with the hair on it. Hey, everything counts, you know? Everything counts. And I think I'm going to take another bit of this. And I made it very thin on purpose because we're going to put and I might put something else in there as well. And I don't mind if they fall down. But that is an almost done tag. I don't know what else it's going to need. But I definitely think I'm going to have to cover the back because it has picked up all kinds of things. Okay. Just kind of a little bit of everything on there. I'm still going to give it some thought. I have to see what else is it's in need of. I've already packed all my stuff to go in the camper, so I don't have all of my good stuff. Anywho, so there's first one, and so that's all I'm going to bring you guys along for, and this one did not work on the black at all, so I don't know what I'm going to do there. It looked like it was going to do fine, but it didn't. It did not. So I'm glad with these that I've just done this kind of thing here. Because the rice paper's lost on them. Just lost. So these will be nice just for sticking in. I like that. And where did I put the other black one? I got, oh, that's the 3. And then I have 3 white ones. So I have this one, which I am going to put another piece here once I know this is dry. I will come back and show you one of those. And where is the other one? What did I do with it? Oh boy, what did I do with it? I have one decorated. I have one this way. Oh well, you get to see it later. I know, here it is. Okay, so Tweedledee and Tweedledum. So we'll have fun with those too. You're probably going to see me utilizing the same kind of products on all of them so that they have some cohesiveness, which will also bring cohesiveness through all of the pages. So that's kind of what I wanted to do with these. Don't mess around there. But I'm going to let these guys totally dry, which will take a little while. And like I said, I will come back and play with these a little bit more on probably on a second video, because I think I'm far enough along on this one. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Until next time, talk at you later. Bye. Take care of yourselves and create something you love. Hey everybody, it's Lisa from Paper Lace and Bling. Welcome back to my channel. Those of you who are new, welcome, welcome, welcome. Still trying to finish off a book, and I'm bringing you along for the final little tidbits that have to go into it. And for those of you that are following me along and been with me for a while, thank you so much, and I appreciate you all. Okay, so since I know that the black didn't take my poor little guys that were painting the red rose bushes, it doesn't come out very well. So this one I'm probably just gonna redo, go over it with something, pretend like this is not even there. It'll just be another little split on the backboard. I wanted to show you this. I need to bring you guys out a little bit. There we go. So I added another lace, and then I tied the black and silver around and made a little bow, so it's a little more substantial up there. I took black soot and just got around on the edges that didn't have anything on them, and I think I still want to do like a couple buttons or something. I just have to make sure where it's going to go. And I also, because this had some black spotting on here, I also just took and lightly went around in circles to kind of make those go away. So anyway, so I'm gonna work on this one, and this is the Eat Me, Drink Me, and I absolutely love having the Mad Hatter on there. However, I know what's going to happen. So I have a circle punch, a very large circle punch, that I don't suggest getting because they're huge and they take up so much room. You can always just use, you know, a bottle or a bowl or a glass or coffee mug, whatever. There's going to be a size that you need. But anyway, this was actually a perfect size for this. So I'm going to Mod Podge onto this, and then we're going to put this onto the, I suppose I could Mod Podge the circle on. I just need, and I have no water left. Let's see. I just need my little squirter to have a squirt. There we go. 2 squirts. So I got a wet brush again. Okay. So let's go ahead and lay this down. Okay, lay this down kind of right in the middle, and now I'm going to wet it from the center out, making sure that I do have all the edges down. Try not to go off of it too much, because when it does show on the black, you know, as glue on there, so probably want to try and keep from going on there. I've got my fan going because it's warm, so I've got my fan going, so it dries everything out pretty quickly. But this is going to work so much better. I'm going to start from the middle and go out. Try not to get too terribly much. Let me rip into this a little bit. It's a little straight across the bottom here. There we go. Just want to make sure that you get all of the bubbles out and that you get it all covered up. Now I am getting this into the area where I have the stenciled bits. So I am trying to just push that along there so that you will still see the stenciled bits on there. All right. Now I think that's going to be, I hope that was, yeah. I think that's going to be much nicer. Very cool. Very cool indeed. Yeah, so we're going to let that dry and see how it is. And I'm going to get the rest of these done. And then we should be ready to just zip through and finish everything in the album. And we will place these as we go, and then if there's anything else that needs to be done. So, if I come across anything else that I'm going to do, let's see, I know I didn't really go over this one, and this one, I'm pretty much going to do a, let's see what I have left here. So, you know, I've got lots and lots of these chipboard pieces. But they're so thick. So let me see what I have. Now I have her with the cake. So I could do that. What else? I have her just standing, looking up. So there's that one. I have the clock. Just seeing what all I have here. I have this really cool owl. But I think that's from the Looking Glass one versus this one. So, you know, what are you going to do? Dee-dum, 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 dee-dum. A long tail. And that is probably as simple as that one's going to get. I think that's beautiful. So yeah, that's probably what that one's going to get. This one will just be a surprise. I might even take another round one and do a different one on it. But, and I still have not... 1, 2, and 3, and then 1, 2, and 3. Yeah. So this, what else do I have left? I have this guy. And we can put the heart like right up here. We can put him right here. I don't know. Tweedledee and Tweedledum. Yeah, so I'm going to have to get these done. You guys, you know, you've seen kind of what we've got going on here. I might just redo this one with this little fella. I don't know. He's really cool. It's the caterpillar. Yeah, so he might go there. I don't know. See, I was going to put this one here with the teacups, but he has a biscuit in one hand and his tea in the other. So I just thought that was perfect for eat me and drink me. So yeah. And we don't have to use all of these. This one would probably look great on here with a white underneath. Because it's definitely working. See, it is just showing up wonderfully. Versus that, that's just a hot mess. Yeah, so I think I might redo this one. And just get my, and let me show you. I've got some more paper here that I can, oh. Look at this huge thing. This is huge. There's my hand. It completely covers my hand. It's huge. It's huge. Look at the hand this way. I have to, let's see. Any place I go on there, I'm going to get black on it. And I just want it solid white. I'm still working through where my grandson used all my copy paper. Oh, here's a piece he didn't. It's pristine. He folded it. He just didn't color on it. All right. That'll go back in the drawer. Okay. Oops. There we go. Huge. Huge. Oh. Okay. So yeah, if we were to do this on this one and put it on there, and I could even offset it a little bit so that it would still have all of that nice stuff from the other one. Just more stuff. It's just got more stuff. Then I could stencil on top, and that's what I was thinking for Tweedledee and Tweedledum, that I might put a nice stencil just around that. Not super happy with the of course it is distress, but there's quite a bit of it that didn't stay. So yeah, it did not, either I didn't get it on there fast enough, or, you know, so not super happy with how that turned out, but I guess I just, looks like all of it is going to come off, because I don't want it in my book if it's going to make a mess. Ow. I forgot that's actually glass glitter. And you can feel the difference. You can definitely feel the difference. Okay, so that just has a little bit on there, and I actually like it better. You can still tell that it's a coffee cup or a teacup. Excuse me, it's definitely a teacup. But I actually like them better without all the glitter. They're very soft and subtle now. That's nice. Okay. So yeah, so I'll have to come up with what I'm going to do with this one. I did have the other girl with the cake, so I could put her on there as well as some other things. So yeah, and do the same kind of treatment here with the material and lace and the black and silver cording that I have used throughout. And this is getting the material from the front cover into the book, because I really hadn't used that material in the book yet. So yeah. And I think I've also got a bit of that, if I stuck it down in here somewhere. But anyway, so if I come up with anything else, I will certainly let you know. And I've got lots of charms and things still to go. Got a little bit of material. Yeah, this one's done. I need to just leave it alone. I need to just move on, because you know, you never know when to stop, right? So yeah, so guys, that's about it. I am going to do the white for this on the black. This little guy, I don't know what I'm going to do with him, but I don't want to leave him out. Yeah, I don't want to leave him out. So we'll come up with something for him. I've got this glitter everywhere now. I need to just get my vacuum. All right, so yeah, I don't like the two of them on one. So I will come up with something. And so the next video, guys, should be the walkthrough. But this time on the walkthrough, I'm going to actually finish the book while I walk through. And I hope you enjoy that. Because I don't always share that stuff with you. All right, guys. Talk at you later. Be kind. Do something nice for somebody else today. Even if it's just calling a friend you haven't talked to in a long time. Hi, Laurel. And, yeah. I don't know what else to say. I am getting down to the wire going on my trip. So, yeah, I'm getting a little batty. But I've got a great gal that's going to take care of my shop. She did it while I was in Washington State and came through it with flying colors. So she's been helping me for a little while just on getting computer stuff done. So she stepped up to the plate and did great for the time I was gone. And so, yeah. So you guys will still be able to order stuff out of my shop if you want to. No problems, because Brandy's going to be there. And I am going to not think about anything for 2 weeks. I may not have all the videos up that I need to cover for those 2 weeks, but I am not going to sweat it. I need some good downtime. All right, guys. Till next time. Bye.